Hey everyone, this is Danielle with the Life Agency podcast. In this week's episode, we are going to be speaking with a super brave soul who is sharing a inspiring story about a weight loss journey that truly is so much more. We're going to be touching on subjects like suicide and sexual abuse. And because of that, we want to let you know that if you're not keen on hearing those topics, please don't listen any further. And we also wanted to share with you resources. There is a suicide and crisis lifeline by just dialing 988. And there is a sexual abuse hotline. It's a national sexual assault hotline that can be reached at 1 800 656 4673. Please enjoy Jess's story.
Hi, everybody. It's Lisa. We're back.
And this is Danielle. And we have got a special guest on with us today. We have got Jess. We are super excited to have her with us today. She is
Hello.
a friend of mine.
My name's Jessica.
We met.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, I'm super excited. We met working in, Jess and I, actually, all three of us have worked in the dental industry. But Jess was a front office team member in one of the offices in an office that I'd worked in. And I was truly inspired by a story that she had shared with me, sort of in passing when I would come into her office. And she shared these hiking stories and dieting stories and all these kind of fun things with me about this journey that she was on to lose weight. And I always encourage people to do these things that feel best for them. And I don't want to deep dive into their lives about the why. But I was always so inspired by why she was doing this and encouraging her to do good. And she would always invite me to go on these crazy hikes on this mountain. And I would say, like, girl, you're nuts. I'm not doing that with you. But I was so truly inspired by her doing this. And she would share with me her weight loss. And I was like, you're rocking it. Keep going. Like, you're doing an amazing job. Keep going. And I love what you're doing. So Jess, thank you so much for being with us today. And I want you to share a little bit about who you are, why you're doing this, and how far you've come this last few years.
Well, I am born and raised in Tucson. I have gone out. I lived in Mississippi, Texas. I've been overweight most of my life. It started at a very young age. But I never committed to losing weight as I have now. And I think that has to do with life and spiritual growth, emotional, and loving myself and being tired of being somebody's stepping stool or just somebody treating me like garbage. I'm done with that. So that's why I'm here now, and I've lost weight. Yes, I have. I've lost up to 80 pounds. Then I gained 30 to 40, and then I'm back at losing the weight. So I'm estimating that I'll hit my goal by the end of the year. I am hustling. I'm hustling to catch up to that lost time since I got sick and I really couldn't walk and do the things that I love to do, which is hiking and just going out in nature. But it's a catch up now. I need to get back to it.
So that seems like a recent injury. Share with us a little bit about. So you were doing really well. It sounds like you lost 80 pounds. Where did you start, and where were you when that injury or sickness happened?
My weight loss journey started in October of 2021 when I was diagnosed with diabetes, which was, shocker, right? but I was at 325, I think, and I was a little shocked, and I got severely depressed, more than I was in years before. Add to the list, and I was done with life. I was done. I'm like, okay, either you get out of the hole that you dug yourself in, or you dig it a little deeper and just be done with it. That was the mentality that I had. I hurt a lot of people that really did love me because I didn't know how to love myself. So the weight loss journey started there, just a little seed that I planted. And then little by little, it started getting more and more. I started getting more serious about it. And then here we are now. It just started little by little. I didn't have an easy upbringing. There was a lot of abuse, rape, and it lasted a long time where I blacked it out as a child, and it came out later in life who the abuser was, which it was hard, so I started gaining weight at a very young age. And this is not to say that anybody who's overweight or chubby or whatever is not beautiful, because I think all body types are beautiful. Every single one of us, every human is beautiful. But in my eyes, I felt if I got bigger and bigger, it would just stop. And it didn't. So, I just, progressively in my life just started, I would eat to erase or to just feel happy, feel loved, if that makes any sense.
Yes. You were trying to push away the people that were coming after you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, how long did that abuse go on before you recognized that you were trying to stop it?
Well, it started at the age of 4 or 5 years old. And then it stopped at the age of 10, 9 or 10. But just recently, really, because after that, I had a lot of abusive relationships. They were not all bad. It's not that. Some of the relationships I had, they were really kind and loving, but I didn't invite it in. I didn't embrace it and take care of it the way I should have, because I was too hurt. So hurt people hurt other people. Mm-hmm. And I realized that now at my 45 years of age, which is never too late, okay, where I'm still here in this floating rock, trying to spread awareness to anybody that I love, trying to share and give love, maybe the love that I didn't have growing up. Not to say my mom, I love my mom, okay, and my family, my really close family, but it was really hard. It was really hard in the darkest of times, I would say. Yeah. But you can't give up. Even through the adversity, you cannot give up on yourself. You have to find a way to love yourself and to nurture yourself and be able to share that love with others, and letting them know that it's not always going to be that dark or that bad. Because you could be your own light through that darkness.
Mm-hmm. What age was it when you felt like you could let on that there was some type of trauma? Was it like now in your 40s when you started to talk about that trauma from your childhood? Or, was it around that time that you were letting on that there was something happening and you felt like there were not adults listening to you? Like, how did that play out for you? And how did that play into how you went into adulthood? Does that make sense, what I'm asking?
Yeah, I think I was maybe 12 when it started to come back, but it really came back when I had my very first relationship, where we had moved in together. And then all the flashbacks started coming back. And potentially it could have been because of that partner being abusive, is when it started to trickle back.
Sure.
I think. And so then after that, I was just on a road to destruction. I was just partying, drinking, doing drugs. I got raped again. But it's just, I put myself in situations where it was kind of like do or die. And so like I don't know if I could say this here, but I attempted to commit suicide in 2018. And it didn't work because I'm still here. The only thing that died was my track. But it was just that I was just so tired of feeling empty.
Yeah.
So
You're
it's
really
hard
brave
to,
for sharing this.
well, I think people need to hear it because a lot of the times I feel like if somebody says I don't feel good, or they could be really happy on the outside and have this love for other people. I've worked in dental for a very long time, and I feel that you have to be really compassionate and empathetic when you're providing a service to people, because you don't want them to feel unwanted or as a number. And I take that to heart. I take that, it's just with all of my being. I want them to be happy and have fun and not think about like stressful things. Like, let's have fun. Let's do it. You could do it. I believe in you. If only I could have poured that into myself, I think it would have made a huge dramatic difference. But it's okay because I'm doing it now. It's never too late. Never.
Nope.
So I'm happy that we're here sharing this so it could reach at least that one person that needs to hear it.
Yeah, I think before we hit record, we were having a conversation about how Lisa and I share a lot that, or just in general, that there's so many people out there that are struggling. They have their own struggles, and we don't necessarily know who they are and what they are. And Lisa and I share a lot that we struggle with mental health. And I, in fact, recorded a podcast with a different, another podcast yesterday that we spoke really heavily on mental health and mental health issues. And I shared a lot about myself on there that, it's an interesting thing that my peace and comfort every day is to wake up and to do something great or to pay it forward for someone else. And that's what gives me comfort, is knowing that I did something for someone else. And I feel like often we wake up and, our friends and our family and our spouses, sometimes they say like, hey, how are you? Or how was your day? And our response is, I'm okay. And I feel like it's our duty sometimes to look a little deeper into people and say like, it's okay, or like to give that hug. Because I know that people aren't always okay. And, I really feel for you, Jess, because it's like, who was around you at that moment in 2018 that you needed that extra, like that extra hug or that extra conversation or that few more minutes on the phone. So I encourage all of our listeners to really take those few seconds or to talk to that stranger a few more minutes, because it really is going to make a difference.
It does. It truly does.
It does.
Yeah, I just, you're so brave to talk about this. It's, we don't want people's lives ending because they feel like it's over. I don't think people's lives are over because they feel like they can't go on. The things that you've brought up today, sexual abuse and suicide, these are heavy, heavy, heavy topics. And it led you down a path of destruction. Self-destruction.
It didn't break me because I'm still here.
Girl, you are here in a big way.
Yes.
When I first met you, I was so drawn to you.
I was too. So I'm like, why is she here? I feel abandoned.
I know. I was so drawn to you and your your laugh and your smile and your wittiness. And we literally probably could have gotten in trouble sitting up at that front desk. And I don't even work there, guys. I'm
I'm
just
surprised because the girls are like, why do you talk to her for so long? It's like, well, why don't you talk to her too?
What?
She's super cool.
in
Wow.
fairness, I talk to everybody there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but I was truly drawn to you. You just have this presence about you that, and maybe it's that thing I was talking about. Like when I wake up in the morning, there's something that draws me to people. And there are special people in my world, and you became one of them. And but I just, your story is just so inspiring, and
It is.
it is. And I'm saddened by what you've gone through. I truly am. I'm
Don't
saddened
be,
by what
Me
you've gone
too.
through.
don't
But I'm
be.
proud. No, I might be sad, but girl, I am proud of you. You have rocked it.
Yeah.
You have stepped out of it and you've stomped on it, and you've said, this is not going to define me.
Yeah. The perfect example of that, of not letting it take you down.
It's a lesson I feel in forgiveness. And it took me a really long time to forgive. It took me such a long time. And my mom and I were talking about this because she's very saddened because she didn't know until later on in life when I told her. And I was a little skeptical on telling her. Because I felt that she was going to feel like she had something to do with it or that it was her fault, but it wasn't her fault. So I just, I forgave, and I forgave myself for feeling guilty. And at an older age, putting myself in those situations. But because I was living in a place of hurt, living in a place of blame. But now it's okay, and I could say that it's in the past, and I forgive those that hurt me, and I forgive myself for hurting people that I unintentionally hurt. I'm so sorry. Um, but hopefully, it's just the galaxy is in our hands, so we need to have fun and fucking just do it.
I love
And
it.
that's exactly when I'm going to have like the best other half of my life. Okay. I'm going to be that old lady with the pink and purple hair and brightest lipstick you could possibly imagine. It's just that I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to have a damn fucking good time. And
So
hopefully,
with that said, what is your, share some goals? Like what, not just this weight loss journey that you've been on, and you certainly have some goals to hit with that
yeah.
you've got lined up and you're ready to hit. What are some of those next goals that you've got lined up for yourself?
Well, okay, so I'm in dental right now. I work as a dental assistant for a pedo practice, which I love. I love it. Kids are just phenomenal little creatures. As Whitney Houston would say, I believe that children are our future. Yes, we need to share the love and the wisdom. That way they don't make the same mistakes that we made. Stay healthy and to live a long life, to be able to take care of my family. When they become seasoned and unable to take care of themselves. Like, I want to be their support. I want to be their rock. And that's pretty much my main goal right there, is to be financially stable and healthy mentally, physically, to be able to tackle on that next phase of my life and make it fun for them and make it safe. That's my main goal.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
It's amazing.
So if there's one thing you could leave for our listeners that have struggled with sexual abuse, thoughts of suicide, what would that be? Whether it be a resource or, really just any words of wisdom for them, what would it be coming from someone that's experienced that?
I would say talk about it. It's not your fault. See, back then I didn't have, or I didn't feel like I had the support that I needed. I felt alone. But that was the worst thing, because you're never alone. There's gonna be somebody there to listen to you. Scream, yell it out. Don't stand there in fear, or don't freeze, because that's what I did. I froze until it was over. I froze for a lot of times. Talk about it, and don't feel ashamed. Because the only way to stop this is to scream from the top of your lungs what's happening and who's doing it to you, and getting the help that you need. Don't stay quiet.
I love it. Well, Jess, I am super proud of you. I'm proud of how brave you were to come on and share your story with us. And I am so inspired by where you are today. And I'm sure that Lisa can agree with me that we would love
Absolutely.
to reconnect with you and see where you are.
Yes.
Oh my God, after the nip tuck?
Somewhere down the road, we want to see you again with the same bright lipstick and colored hair.
Yes.
Thank you.
But we want to reconnect with you and stay in touch. And I'm sure our listeners do too, just to know where you are and what you're
Absolutely.
doing.
I
Because
would love to.
yes, because I think that what you've done and what you've shared today is just such an inspiration for people that are going through or have gone through the same things that you have. And
Yeah.
for everyone on here today, what we're going to do is post some resources for you if you're struggling with sexual abuse or thoughts of suicide, so that you have somewhere to reach out to or someone to reach out to. But like Jess has said, be sure to be talking to people about these things. You are not alone in the world. We certainly agree that there are people that you can talk to about this. And to everyone out there, like we have said over and over, be the support that someone needs, be the hand that someone needs, and be the ears that someone needs that day. We certainly support that. Continue to pay it forward for the people that need you. Again, Jess, thank you so much for being on with us today. We certainly
You're
appreciate
amazing.
you.
You're so amazing. I'm so happy to meet you. You've left me speechless with how wonderful you are, and I'm just so amazed by you. I think you're incredible. I wish I could crawl through that screen and give you the biggest hug.
I had tears in my eyes. I
I
literally
know,
had
me
to
too.
like
The whole time I'm like choking, like,
I
don't
had to
cry.
sit
Don't
for a
cry.
second.
I know. I would go to speak and I'm like, can't.
Well, I told myself, I was like, I'm not going to be the waterworks. It's in the past. Speak your words and let somebody who needs to hear it, hear it. So I appreciate you ladies so very much. You don't even
appreciate
understand.
you. We can't wait
Yeah.
to see you. We can't wait to keep up with you and see how you're doing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, everyone. We will be back in a short week, and we'll be sharing an episode that is inspiring by, we have a photographer on with us. She is a Valley photographer here in the state of Arizona. So stay tuned for that episode. All right, everyone. We will be back soon. Thank you so much for joining us, and goodbye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.